Hi there, welcome to my channel, a little bit about everything. I have some beehives with no bees in them. So I can either buy bees or capture a swarm. And to capture a swarm, you need a bee trap. And I found a few on the internet, and the easiest one that I found was the Russian bee trap. They have a certain name for it. It eludes me right now. But these are the parts you need to make your bee trap. You need container. I'm going to be using 15-liter buckets with a cover on it. Something to heat up the BeesWax. You need BeesWax. Something to heat it up. You need a foundation. Well, I'm just going to use boards. I'm going to put a board under the cover, and then with a eye bolt, I'm going to put a hole through that board and then into the top of this board, and they're going to be as shown. This board might be bigger to cover more area. Bees would prefer to stick comb to a board than a bucket lid. I don't know if it'll stick to a bucket lid if they try to make foundation in there, right? And how often do you go see your traps? Once a month? You know, once every 3 weeks? By that time, they started building comb in there. So it'll stick to the board. It'll be held to the cover with the eye bolt. And this will be the foundation. But it's going to be wrapped up with screen that was dipped in wax, BeesWax. Okay? And you poke 4 holes around the bucket, 1 inch, close to the top. So that way, they can decide which entrance they want to use, and they can keep cool. I chose white buckets so they wouldn't heat up in there and leave the bucket in case I do catch a swarm. You need staples. I chose stainless steel so they wouldn't rust on that board. Okay? And you need drill bits. Drill the holes. Okay? It doesn't get any simpler than that. I was going to hang it with a rope from a tree and then put another rope on the handle of the bucket to keep it from twisting around in the wind. Okay? Some people fixate these right to the tree. For now, that's my plan. I'll see when I get there. You know, I can tie the rope up into the tree over the branch, and then tie it on the bottom, and then tie this one the same way, and it'll prevent it from twisting around so they can find their entrance, so it doesn't switch around on them, like twisting around on the rope. So far, that's what I'm going to do. Okay? So, well, let's get started. I'm going to take you over to the counter where I have some of the parts laying out already for the build. It shouldn't take long. Alright, so this is what I got so far. Okay, so this is what I got so far. I have some BeesWax. Oh, I love that smell. It even got some bees on it. It's supposed to be pure beeswax. I'm hoping there's some scent in there that will attract. Other than the wax, there's no... I hope they didn't put scent in there that shouldn't be in there, that will sort of discourage the bees from going into these. So these are the buckets. They were $4 each. and I think it's $1 or something for the lid. Okay, the lid, once it's on there, it's on there. You need a screwdriver to pry it off. So this is the eye bolt. So I'm going to put a board square to the cover so they have something to stick the comb to, and the board is going to be not touching the bottom of the bucket. I can't put water in the bottom of it, but they do need water. I was thinking water, but now that I think of it, they probably drown if they fell in the bottom. So, bring it from the tree here, and tie the handle in. That should be pretty sturdy. And I have right here, I have a little teapot or a little pot, and I have a heating plate for the wax, and now I gotta find some board. I found some board, unfinished board. Okay, I'm going to use this. It'll seem more natural to them. And I'm going to cut 2 of these, and cut 2 of these, make sure they fit underneath the cover. Alright, so let's get started with that thing here. It has to stay within these parameters. So here's one. Okay. And that has to easily come out. If I do catch a swarm, so I'm going to make it slightly shorter. Let's see what that does. Make sure these are squared off. Bucket. I don't want this to touch the bottom. And I've got another board in here. Okay, so I'm gonna, like I said, they were 15-liter buckets, right? 15 liters. I got these at, for those who know what that means. And they're 12 inches deep. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this 9.5. I got another inch for the cover board, which is 10.5, and I'll be left with 1.5 inches of bee space underneath. Okay, so that should be enough. There's my other 2 pieces, Alrighty. Out, we can use the bucket to hold this, and there's a little, it's not casting, but it's, they actually did the extrusion, or the, got this out of the mold. That'll will not permit you to hit center with your drill bit. So I'm going to remove that. And get a drill bit. Drill the top of the bucket. That was easy. Now onto here. So just going to run another hole through this. So as you can see, bring you close up. I have a hole in the top of my bucket and my board. And I gotta put one in the top of my foundation as well. It'd be easier if I started off like this. I'm going to use this as a guide board for my drill bit. And then put this in the middle. And there it is in the middle. Bring this down. Hold on to it. And this should go as deep as this eye bolt is 6 inches long. It's got 4 inches of thread. Okay. Six inches long, 4 inches of thread. I want this to be somewhere around here. Actually, it's going to be tied up against the cover. And once I put it through here, I gotta go as deep, I gotta go that deep to tighten everything up. And I don't know if my bit will do it. Yeah, it'll just do it. Have to stretch it out a bit and clean up. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like when everything's fastened up. But now, if you look at this, I want to thread this nut on here. So I'm going to poke a hole large enough for me to hold that nut in there and tighten up the bolt. Okay, so I'm going to drill 1 inch hole to intercept that other hole. Or better yet, scribe it with a pencil. All you got to do is hold your pencil and use it as a guide with your. You just scribe it there. Go hole through this. Now, when I put this in here, I can start my bolt from a nut on the bolt inside the hole. And twist that till I actually tighten down on it. And then I'll repeat for the other bucket. I got 2 traps. Some people put 6. You can put as many as you like, right? If you know you're going to catch a swarm or more than 1 swarm. Okay, so I'll give you a close-up of that. You know what I mean? So, I have some screen here. Now I'm just going to cut this to length so I can wrap it around once. Okay. See, that's that there. These are just ordinary side snips. Okay, so it's going to go along like that. stapled over here, 1 inch, an inch. They'd be right on top of the comb, right? I'm going to put one hole on either side around here and one below on the other ones. That way, if one doesn't work, the other one will. I'm going to start off with the one underneath. This should be 1 inch, 7/8 or 1 inch. Okay, that's one. And then on the opposite side, here. Now I'm going to put one in between here. These holes are all 90 degrees apart from each other. Okay. So if this works for them, they'll land on here and just crawl in there, or if they don't like that, they'll just land on here. I'll put some wax on here too. And I got one of these. I got one of these staple guns. Right, this is goes in there, and they're T50s, and they're stainless steel. Okay, staple gun. Write this around here. Tight. Now, I'm going to cut up some chunks of wax. I'm not too sure how to go about that. Hope this cuts through it. I'm wondering how much I'm going to need. Let's see, this is a pound of wax. It cost me 25 bucks. I don't know if that's expensive or not. Probably some people are free. So I'm going to take a chunk of wax, put it in there. There's about the size of it's 2 by 3 inches by 1 inch thick. Turn that on, turn that on. I have it at around 140. I don't want it too hot. I don't want to burn the wax and somehow turn off the bees to the hive, whether you get trapped. Just want to give you a sneak peek. This is a Sultan induction induction pad or induction stove. As that melts, I'm just going to start putting some on the board. There's got to be some everywheres for the bees to stick to, right? So you got to do the whole bucket, and if not, they'll just fall to the bottom of the bucket. I don't think we can stick to that surface anyways. There, and around the lid so they have something to stick to if they choose that route to get into it. So they'll be able to stick to the lid. A little bit everywhere. That's done. Now for the entrances. So if they do land somewhere here, they'll stick to whatever has wax on it. Here. This one. That. And there's a little bit of wax everywhere. Alrighty. So I have some left, so spread it all over the place. Okay. You can see where the wax is, right? Some around the entrances. I don't think they'll stick to where there's no wax, so that's why I decided to put wax all underneath the cover and inside the bucket. So if they fall in the bucket, they're going to crawl back up again, right? This is what you bait your trap with. Okay, you cut it up into little pieces and you put it in your swarm trap. That's what you bait your trap with. The hay is as tall as I am. It goes up to my shoulders almost. Everywhere.